Rookie profile season is back. I'm Matt Hicks, the FF Educator, joined as always by John Lobb, the Gridiron Scholar, for yet another year of the flagship video series here for the Rookie Big Board. John, we're going to kick off this year with Drake Maye, but for all the folks who are not familiar with the way this series works, it's all the flagship prospects in the 2024 NFL draft class. The videos are between 8 to 12 minutes. We give you the film breakdown. We give you the stat breakdown. We translate it for fantasy football. Folks, nobody's doing it better, and more importantly, nobody is doing it more accurately. Go back to last year, check the track record. John, without further ado, let's get into it, man. Drake Maye, the quarterback out of North Carolina. Caleb's getting the hype. Jaden Daniels is getting the hype. We said no. We need to start off here with Drake Maye because he's not getting enough hype.
Matt, I couldn't agree with you more. I spent a lot of time in the past 2 weeks re-watching Drake Maye. And what I was thinking as I'm watching it, he is everything that they thought Daniel Jones and Mitch Trubisky was going to be. But Drake Maye is actually the guy. In 2023, he was named second team All-ACC, Matt. He passed for 3,608 yards, 24 touchdowns, and he rushed for 449 yards and 9 scores. But Matt, in 2022, you've got to watch both seasons of tape, everyone. He captured the ACC Player of the Year. He threw for 4,321 yards and 38 aerial strikes. But more importantly, he scampered for 698 yards and 7 touchdowns. When the dust settled, he was first team All-ACC, ACC Rookie of the Year, and freshman All-American, Matt. And since 2010, he joined Kyler Murray, Deshaun Watson, Marcus Mariota, Johnny Manziel, and Robert Griffin in a very elite club. In a single season, they all posted 4,000 passing yards, 35 passing touchdowns, 650 rushing yards, and 7 touchdowns on the ground. Matt, I fell in love with Drake Maye once again. What does your film study say?
Ooh, there is a whole lot to like about Drake Maye. And before I even get into the breakdown here by trait, I want to say, John, Drake Maye is a great example of you have to watch a player over time to really appreciate him. He came out strong at the college level, impressed early on, but his tape jump from 2022 to 2023 is one of the reasons that I really like him. He's coachable. He shows improvement over time. But let's get into it here, starting off with his accuracy. I think, John, he fits balls into tight windows, and he's able to do that really consistently and with a high level of accuracy. And what I love about Drake Maye, he hits guys at all 3 levels of the field. You see with the UNC offense, especially this year, a lot of short and intermediate. But think about why we love Josh Downs coming out so much last year, right? It's because of that deep ball. And Drake Maye shows the ability to hit that deep ball consistently. He has that prototypical NFL arm strength, John. It's what every front office, every GM is looking for in that classic pocket passer prototype. But we'll get into he's much more than just that, but he does adjust velocity well, which I always appreciate in a prospect. When it comes to processing, John, this is one area that I saw a big improvement on. He doesn't turn the ball over. He protects the ball. Early season 2023, turning the ball over. He progressed and improved later on in a brand new scheme in 2023. I will say, though, one of the things I want to see is him getting past that second read in his progression. He will get stuck there at times. He's comfortable standing tall in the pocket, John. He's got good footwork within the pocket. And another big improvement, we saw significant improvement from his mechanics, especially, John, looking at his throwing motion, his release, a lot more consistent. But it all started with his footwork, his foundation. It was jittery in 2022. It was clean. It was consistent. There's clear improvement, clear coachability. And I talked about he has that prototypical NFL front office arm strength. Well, combine that, John. Combine that with a physical running style, with a quickness, with a tenacity. And he's going to score at the goal line. This is fantasy football points we're talking about, folks, in a big way. I think he's really underrated as an athlete. Like we said off the jump here, we're talking about Caleb Williams a ton, right? We're talking about Jaden Daniels a ton, and they are both excellent athletes in their own right. But Drake Maye, he's going to get 400 or 500 rushing yards a season. He's got the ability to get 6 rushing touchdowns in a season. That's going to get you, from a mid-level QB2 to a QB1 for fantasy football purposes. There's a ton of upside here, John, and it's not just my eyes that are saying this. The stats are backing it.
Oh, absolutely. And I think people are overlooking how big this product is, Matt. He's comfortably listed at 6'4", over 230 pounds. I mean, this is a really big physical man. And you mentioned his ability to run with the ball. He's uber athletic for such a big player. And I'm not trying to be hyperbolic. There are images of Josh Allen, who's incredibly athletic. So is Drake Maye on film. And my model loves him, Matt. And when you look at the screen there, some of the most impressive stats that he has posted: touchdown to interception ratio, 63-16. Matt, that is just really being smart with the football. What I love, rushing equity. 2 years ago, he had 32% of the Tar Heels total rushing. And that is a very good indicator of NFL fantasy success. And that's what we care about here. He falls a little short on completion percentage, but I'm not going to nitpick. He's at a 64.9. I'm looking at 65%. And his passing efficiency, 154.1. I would like it at 155. Nothing to sneeze about. Those are really good numbers. He's only played 26 games, but he was a redshirt freshman, and he ended up playing 1 season behind Sam Howell. He probably would have played 3 seasons and had well over 35 starts if Sam Howell wasn't on the team when he was a freshman. Matt, my model loves him. My film study loves him. What should fantasy footballers know now?
Yeah, John, let's get down to business. What's the advice? How does this translate for fantasy purposes? But before we do that, I want to make sure folks know that we're giving out this type of insight and advice every day in the Rookie Big Board Discord. And over at the Rookie Big Board, we have our full rankings. Every NFL player, every NFL prospect listed there, over 55 film reviews already done, John. You're going to want to get in on that action and get ahead of your league mates over at patreon.com/rookiebigboard. So when we're talking about Drake Maye and his ability to contribute for fantasy football purposes, John, we're talking about a serious impact player here. In terms of my NFL draft projection, I think this one's pretty safe. Top 10 pick, likely a top 5 pick in the NFL draft. We mentioned it earlier. NFL front offices, GMs, they are in love with Drake Maye. He's got the size. He's got the arm. He's got the mobility. All right. In terms of ADP projection in a super flex rookie draft, he's going as a top 4 pick. All right. There will be a little bit of choose your flavor here between those top 3 quarterbacks and Marvin Harrison Jr. But if Drake Maye falls any further than a top 4 pick in a super flex draft, you got to trade up to that 5th pick because it would be a huge value. In terms of my rookie big board tier here, I have him as a league winner, which means I think he's going to be at least a quarterback 2 right off the bat. So a top 12, a top 18 fantasy football quarterback. He's going to make an immediate impact in the NFL, and he's going to make an immediate impact in your fantasy football roster. And my value comparison, John, Dak Prescott. I mentioned it earlier. 6 rushing touchdowns. That's all you need. Prime Dak Prescott was a top 6 quarterback 3 years in a row. Just getting 6 rushing touchdowns a season, right? That'll push you over the edge when you can pass for 3,400, when you can pass for 3,600 yards, right? So for Drake Maye, it's going to, of course, be a system fit, but I don't think it matters. I think he's going to be able to translate to the NFL. He's going to be able to get up to speed, and he's going to be able to make an immediate impact on your fantasy football rosters. John, just like the impact we're making through this full rookie profile series, you're going to want to make sure you're subscribed to the Rookie Big Board, whether you're watching, whether you're listening, and you're going to want to make sure that you get in on that personalized advice over at patreon.com/rookiebigboard. Thanks for checking out this rookie profile.